Ben Skinner, aka Skin Dog. Welcome to Wozedu.com. Pleasure to have you with us.
Pleasure to be here, thanks very much.
Yeah, no worries. Tell us about your story.
Well, yeah, it's quite a long one really. I've originated in Jersey in the Channel Islands, and obviously my background, my family background is very surfing orientated. Mum and dad run pubs, but we just spent most of the time out of the pub at the beach, and that's where I fell in love with it really. And moved to Cornwall at about 10 years old, and started competing with my friends at school and wanting to do the British Championships, and that's where professional surfing really began for me, was here in Cornwall. And I think it's it's a really good platform in Europe to start off.
So the longboarding's your passion. What about your parents? Did they try and get you into like beer at an early age, or did they push you down into the?
I don't think they had to try. It was one of those things. I think with surfing, there's a big social scene. I think it's changed a lot in the last 15 years. Since I was a youngster, I think we're a lot more professional now as a sport. All the surfers these days, we don't drink before the events. We're very focused and we want to win. 10-15 years ago, it was a little bit looser, and people just, we were there for the fun as well, which is important, as we're still here for that as well.
You're not just an athlete though, you're also a businessman. You actually design your own longboards and sell them on. Tell us a bit about that.
Well, about 4 years ago, my girlfriend fell pregnant with my first child, and I really felt, I was pretty young, about 22, 23 years old, and I realised that, okay, surfing's great, that's what I want to do, it'll keep me going for now, but what's going to happen, when that finishes? So I really thought hard about it and thought, right, I wanted to start something new. So one of my best friends, Jason Gray, who's a laminator, so does all the, the glassing of the boards, we came together. He actually had a boy 9 days after my boy.
Oh, no way.
And that's really where our business started from, was, for our kids really. And obviously our passion for surfing, and we didn't want to do work anywhere else. It was, wanted to keep it in the industry. So
yeah, of course.
That's where it began really.
If it wasn't for like your passion for the industry, or your contacts, or your parents been like really like supportive, do you think maybe like a networking service like Wozedu would have helped, an educational networking site where people can just swap ideas, get together, say, oh, there's a week surf going here,
Yeah, absolutely. I think let's be honest, when I was, and I'm not that old, but even when I was at the age of some of the juniors now, I didn't have that. The internet has just started, we had email, but there was no Facebook, there was no Twitter, there was no real social networks. So to have something like Wozedu now, for the kids to go and look at and actually communicate, and sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know, and I think that's why social networks are so important, especially in business or in sport, because you really need to find the right person to make the right contacts, to go to the right places, and choose the right path. So I think Wozedu is really good for that. I wish it was around when I was younger, and I think the youngsters should make the most of these social networks, because the sponsors want to see you using these networks as well. So I think because it's instant, people see it straight away, and you hit thousands, not just someone who picks up a magazine. And that's how powerful the internet is these days. So.
Skin Dog, you started quite young, very young in fact. Yeah. Do you reckon if someone, I don't know, let's say 25, a little upstart from London or whatever, came down to Cornwall and said, right, I'm going to become the next European champion, in this day and age, obviously I think there's other elements with this kind of thing, like core strength must be like really important, but is it feasible? Could someone come and do that? Is it ever too late, is what I'm trying to say?
No, it's never too late to get involved in surfing. I mean, surfing is about being part of the ocean and the fun. I mean, yes, it's my job and it's profession, but if I didn't compete, I'd still surf every day. It's something that I feel I need to live. I need to do to live, if you know what I mean. It's an essential part in my life. But some people I know who've lived in the cities, who have come down to Cornwall and found surfing, have really gone, wow, you don't know how lucky you are to have had this all your life. But I think I really do, and I really enjoy showing people, taking people surfing for the first time and seeing their feeling and their expression.
On that note, I've only known you 5 minutes. As soon as you walk through the door, you're like, are you coming in? Are you gonna get on? And we saw someone down there stack it. Are we gonna catch it now? I don't know. And that passion really came across, and it's like really enthusiastic, and I love it. I love it.
Good. I'm glad you felt that, and that's what it's about for me. I think as soon as you hit the water, you'll feel that yourself, and it's almost like a bug.
having that passion from a young age can only really come, I guess, from getting involved in hobbies quite young. How important do you think it is for young people to actually pick up a hobby or do something really useful outside of school and really, crack on at a young age? Because
it's massively important. I think, I think Jason touched on it before, of having the controlled environment at school or something like that. You really need to put yourself in an environment that's a little bit more, tougher, like a skate park or the sea, or, just get out there and experience life, really. I think, when I was at school, when I was travelling, the school weren't really too keen on it, but I think I learned so much travelling, probably things that I could have never learnt from school. So I think a good blend is essential. So yeah, a hobby of any kind is good, any sport. Just get out there and get amongst it, and I think you'll feel good about doing it.
All right, just a couple more. What do you think is the most important factor behind your success? It could be anything in the world.
I think it would probably have to be the support of my family and friends, to be honest with you. I think, if I didn't have that, I wouldn't be where I am now, so I kind of have to thank them. And, it's lucky, but you don't have, if you haven't had that, then, just get in the sea and you'll feel the buzz that I do and want to just do it every day.
And just one last thing for us, one piece of advice for all our viewers, that would be great.
Basically, you can do anything if you put your mind to it. That's what I really believe, and everything happens for a reason, and just keep chipping away at the old block, really.
Skin Dog, thank you so much for your time. Multiple European champion, thank you so much.
Thank you. So the most important lesson in business always is work hard, play hard. How is it?